Everyone, it's KIREI here for Bramble Fox with a new layout using the fabulous February Fox box. And I am using the pretty pink Love Us title and a couple of the other small pieces in the kit. I've also pulled out the Paper Snips 87 and Fox Cut Stencil number 133, and they come with the Fox Box Plus. Okay, so I have picked out some photos of my husband and I on a trip into London, and I dug into my stash, and I have this really lovely Bella Boulevard, very bright, Our Love Song collection. So picked a number of pattern papers. And I'm just going for this sort of offset design, I guess. And I'm using the red spotted pattern paper, the nice stripy one, and then I've got a black grid that I'm going to sort of layer up. And I mean, these are obviously full. I think they're all full sheets of paper, but I mean, it is actually quite a good way to use up scraps if you haven't got full sheets left, and just piecing them together into some sort of like graphic background. I mean, you could use any sort of, order or anything like that. It could be a bit smaller than what I'm doing, but yeah, that sort of idea. So I'm just going to layer them up. And then I have 7 photos, and I'm going to create 2 photo strips. So I'm going to mount those onto this black spotted paper here in the 2 strips. And there we go, as if by magic. And of course, I couldn't not distress the edges. So yes, we'll distress all the edges of the background papers before I get those stuck down. And I did also distress the edges of the photo strips as well. I do love a bit of distressing and the texture that it gives. Fiddling around here, deciding which way that striped paper is going. I mean, there isn't too many ways, but I'm making it look difficult. Anyway, I can get those. Oh, I'm placing. I think, am I going to have a little play here? Ah, that's right, stenciling. At least I've remembered to do some stenciling before I've actually got everything stuck down on the background. So I am pulling out. I'm just deciding here actually on the pinks. I've got a couple of pinks here and a red, and I'm actually swatching them just to see which ones I think I'm going to go with. But I do go with Kitsch Flamingo in the end, just the softer pink. And I'm just going to add a little bit of detail at the top right and then in the bottom left. Now, this stencil comes with the Fox Box Plus, which is the monthly subscription like the Fox Box, but you also get the stencil like here. You get the Paper Snips cut apart sheet, you get some epoxy flare. So yeah, you just get that little bit extra with the Fox Box Plus. And you can find out about subscribing to the Fox Box. It is a monthly subscription over at bramble.fox.co.uk, and just click on Fox Box and you'll see all the details there on how to subscribe. And with your subscription, you do get a 10% discount in the shop as well, which is always good. We do love a little bargain. Okay, so background down. Now I've got the sticker sheet here, and I like these little scalloped borders. I feel like that's going to add a little bit more detail, and I wanted to bring them in a bit more black. So I'm just adding this piece here under the red edge, just trimming it, cutting it apart so that I can get it right across the whole layout. And then I think I can get my photos stuck down, I think. Oh no, I'm deciding. No, there's some more scallop strips, and I'm thinking, should I have a go? Should I add something there? And there's two different ones here. I do play with both of them, but no, that goes back on. But I will add a little bit of that other diagonal stripe it's in a pink and a red diagonal stripe. I thought about putting it there, but I thought no, it was a bit too much because I've got quite a lot of red at the top anyway. So I'm just going to add a little piece under this area here. So yeah, just a little bit of extra detail. And then photos stuck down. They were mounted on foam pads all the way, actually. Because they're long photo strips, I have mounted them on foam pads all the way. Stuck them down just slightly. They're not completely straight. And then I've pulled in embellishments from the Bella Boulevard collection. And I've also got some of those very cute paper snips. I've got the little bear. There's the one down there on the right and the one in the top left you can see with the heart. And I'm just at the moment sort of placing things around, working out where they're going to go. I'm bringing in some of the perspectives. I've got the little envelope there. There's the little heart-shaped, it's a box of chocolates. There's another just heart as well. So yeah. Um, and then as you see, I did bring in that corner piece as well. I forgot to mention that. So I just felt that wanted to to balance the layout by adding another cluster, but it felt like it was just going to float down there, and I needed something to sort of, sit it on, if you like. So I just took a piece of the red and brought that down. Actually, I really like how it looks because it sort of brings the layout together with the red at the top and the bottom. Here we go. See, I thought I'd stuck those down. I hadn't. Okay, so now you can see. I'm sticking down my photo strips, and as you can see, I have put foam pads all the way, which I don't always do with my photos. Sometimes I just have the foam at the top edge. Right. Okay, and then once I'm done, I can go back and get my embellishments on. Um, I obviously played around with them at the start because I tend to do that and just make sure I'm happy with how it all looks. And then I'll take a photo, and I have a camera, my old phone sat over on the side there that you can't see, so I can refer to it so I know exactly where everything went. So yeah. So now I'm just getting everything stuck down, a little bit of glue in the center of everything so that I can still curve up the petal edges and yeah, to give me that little dimension. Um, Adding a little pop of yellow. Well, I realised actually I meant to add a little bit of yellow to the bottom right cluster, and I didn't. I really should add a pop there because I'd like to balance my clusters, and I've got the three, the ones on either side of the photos, and that bottom one just to balance it out. Because design is always about the rule of three, and three brings, you put three clusters together, and it sort of draws the eye in. And then, these pink hearts, they're from my stash. So I just brought in a couple of extra hearts because there's the red heart over on the left there that is in the Fox box. The envelope, the grey envelope, love envelope is in the Fox box. And of course, the little heart-shaped box of chocolates at the bottom is in the Fox box. But I just brought in a few more hearts just to, and they match the pink of the Love Us title. So I thought that worked well. But the photos are my husband and I on a evening out in London back in November to see The Importance of Being Earnest. And it had Stephen Fry in the main role of Lady Bracknell. He was hilarious. Sorry about my head there. Yeah, it was really, really good actually. So we had a fab evening. We do love going to see the theatre in London. We're lucky we live, fairly close, so we can get in reasonably easily. So, well, we can get in very easily, I should say, but get in as often as we can. Okay, so just finishing off, I've got some more paper snips here. I've got some word phrases I'm just raising up on foam pads. I've got time for us. You make everything better and so much to treasure. So I've got the one up on the top left, and then I'll just add a couple more down the bottom here. And then I think I'm almost done. I will, of course, add some journaling, which I will do off camera. And I do add some splatters, actually, some white paint splatters as well. But I do that on camera because I thought about it afterwards. So, yeah. Bringing in the enamel dots, I'm just adding some large enamel dots into the centre of some of the flowers there. And then I will just add a few extra enamel dots around the clusters as well, just in the pink and the red tones. Yeah. So yeah, that I think is pretty much it. Thankfully, I got these enamel dots on fairly quickly because I am notorious for taking ages deciding where they are going to go. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching the process video and get some inspiration for layering up maybe some papers graphically like that. Here is the final layout, and here are the close-ups of all those fabulous perspectives from the February Fox box. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.